Hello everyone, welcome to the Cynthia Linox Show. I am your host, Cynthia Linox. Welcome to a new 2024. Well, it's not new, it's just 2024. A brand new year is what I was thinking. 2024, and again, it is the best season of your life. Now, it's not the best season of your life by default, no. It is the best season of your life by a decision that we make. And that's a decision that we can make every single day or every single moment. Because, again, it's your life. And you decide what it's going to be. And regardless of what you're going through, and hopefully it's something terrific, even if it's something, if you're going through like the best season, living your best life, then just really affirm that every single day and expect the best. Expect things to work out for you. Expect good fortunes to come your way. Expect favorable situations to come your way. Self-care, your health, your family, just everything. But most of all, you want to focus on three things. You want to focus on yourself. You want to focus on your life. And you want to focus on your happiness. I talk a lot. This show, this whole thing is about the self. It's about you. It's about taking care of oneself and loving yourself and knowing who you are and being authentic and so forth. And you have just got to really zero in on that, because life tells us that to talk a lot about yourself is selfish. It's egotistical. It's narcissistic. A whole bunch of stuff. But we are looking at it from another angle. And I encourage you to reset your thinking, to know that if you don't take care of yourself, really, how can you give your best to anyone? Whether it's your kids, your partner, your significant other, your spouse, your family. No, it starts with you. And, we can go through life with a lot of narrative that we tell ourselves. And when you look around, there's a lot of scam and fraud and deception that's going around. Scam, there's scam all over, and my antennas are always up. I am always, so mindful. If somebody calls my line, calls me on the phone and says, is this Cynthia Linox? I don't say yes. Of course it's me, but I don't say yes. They call me. So my question would be, who are you calling? And then I proceed to ask questions. What is the purpose of your call? And I ask the questions. And, of course, they try to call and ask you questions because they're scam in most cases. Generally, if I don't recognize the number, I don't answer the phone. I don't answer. It goes into junk and so forth. But sometimes, perchance, I would answer. And I make sure I'm the one that asks the questions. And if I see that it is of no interest, then I hang up. We've got people calling me about selling our house and a whole bunch of stuff. And I know that we have not looked into anything of the sort, so I don't even pay attention to any of those things. If you recognize that you have not engaged in any kind of activity that relates to the call, then just hang up. Don't waste time at all. You're walking through Sam's or Costco, and they one of the guys said to me the other day, he said, what internet provider do you have, or what electrical company do you use? And I said, do I know you, or do you know me? And then he said, no. I said, well, that's a personal question, isn't it? And I just kept going. I don't like that kind of stuff. They need to have another approach. You need to tell me why you are stopping me and what you are offering that may be better than what I have. But to ask me, what is your internet provider, or who do you subscribe to me, I don't like it that way. So I don't give anyone an opportunity to continue. One guy, I said to him, I said, well, that's a personal question, isn't it? So he looked at me like, wow, that's crazy. He's like, no one has told me that before, but yeah, that's how I handle that. So just so many things you have to be aware of: the fraud, the scams. I got a text the other day saying that has to do with my PayPal, and it says that $799 has been withdrawn from your account for the purchase of Bitcoins. Now, I know I'm not involved in any kind of Bitcoin stuff, so I right there I knew that it was a fraud. And it said, if we don't hear from you, we're going to go through with the transaction, with the purchase, and we do thank you for your business. But if it's not you, please call this number so that we can remove it. Well, I looked at the phone number that was listed, and I compared it to the phone numbers I have for PayPal, their customer service number, and none of it matched. So I knew right there that that was a fraud, and it, I defaulted it to report and junk. You can report it and then put it in a junk, and you block the number and so forth. So, or you block the transaction, something of that nature. The point is, that was not pertaining to me, so you just go ahead and take care of that. So you've got to be so aware. Now, it's scam, fraud, and deception. When we talk about deception, deception is something that can happen in such a subliminal way that we don't even realize that it's happening. And deception, sometimes, we tell ourselves a narrative in life, and not realizing that we are really deceiving ourselves. And I want to talk to you about that today, because there are so many accounts that I hear from people. They talk about their lives and what they want and how happy they are and things of that nature. And it's sometimes we sell ourselves, or we tell ourselves a narrative that after a while we begin to believe. And with time, we realize that nothing changes, because we are telling ourselves that narrative. Say, for instance, and I'm going to share this because this is something that recently happened. I am in this group. You all know this, the Golden Bachelor, that just happened on TV, and it was quite entertaining and so forth. And it came to a close back in August, but the group continued, and there are all these ladies all in their golden age and so forth, and they contribute. And whether or not you got a chance to watch the ladies on the Golden Bachelor, they were just some hot mamacitas. We were talking about women that are stylish and so forth, and it's just really, for me, it was an inspiration, because it encourages you to keep a positive outlook, and to be daring, to be bold, to be confident, assertive, and to just really put yourself out there unapologetically. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, you make yourself vulnerable, really, in all situations, because you are putting yourself out there, saying that you are competing with 21 other women for the heart of this particular bachelor. So, but after the show was over, the conversation continued with, women in the group. And, there were all these comments and so forth. And some were so negative. As a matter of fact, for me, it was so educational, because it doesn't compute in my mind that people can really think in such ways. Some were so negative and so awful, and really had the boldness to share their pessimistic, negative views. And then there are some of us that were uplifting, it's not my life, and they're happy together, and you wish them well, and you just really think the best, because none of us know either person. Gary Turner and Theresa Niss. They're Theresa Niss is the person that was eventually chosen. Out of 22 women, Theresa Niss wound up as Mrs. Turner. But anyway, and recently this person posted, she said, this group has really helped me to be true to myself. I've been single for 20 years. I believe she's divorced or something like that. And she says, and for 20 years, I've been telling myself a narrative that, that I'm happy, that I'm good, I'm single, I can take care of myself, and I don't need a man, and so forth, and all of that kind of stuff. And you know what? This group really, and this Golden Bachelor has really allowed me to reset my thinking and to really being truthful to myself that no, I'm not happy. Yes, I want a partner. Yes, I would love to be sitting here with a partner to share my life. Yes, I would like to have someone to travel with. Yes, I would like to have someone to go to the movies with. Yes, I would love to have someone to go out to dinner and enjoy an evening. Yes, yes, yes to all those things. And she said, I have sold myself a narrative for years saying, I am good. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone in my life. I'm good. I'm good with my kids, my grandkids, and I am just as happy as they come. And she said, and that is a lie. Because deep down on the inside, that is not how I feel. And those are the things that I desire. And now that I've seen these women put themselves out there, I am going to put myself out there thanks to you ladies in the group and thanks to this show, The Golden Bachelor. I can now really make myself vulnerable. Make myself vulnerable and really speak my truth and stop deceiving myself. Now, she posted that. And after she posted that, a whole bunch of other women start agreeing with her and saying the same things. People came on saying, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. I've been feeling the same way, and this show has really liberated me to know that there's nothing wrong with wanting a partner and sharing my love with someone and sharing my life. I really want to have, a life of my own and not being wrapped up into the kids and the grandkids. I mean, that's fine, but it's not fulfilling to me for the desires that I have, for the needs, the wants, the dreams, the goals that I have for my life at this stage of my life. So I need to start, and these are people that are talking, and they're saying, I need to stop lying to myself, because that narrative that I created about being self-sufficient and not needing anyone, and I can do this myself, and I can take care of myself, and pay my own bills and take myself to travels and so forth on my own or whatever, all that narrative is all a lie. And the more I thought about it, it saddened me, because what happens is this. When you can lie to someone else or think you're lying to the world. But when you lie to yourself, when you create that kind of narrative, the universe is gonna shut, is gonna close on you. You are going to remain unfulfilled. Why? Because the universe is not going to respond to a lie. You're not being authentic. You're not being real. You're not being true. You're not being genuine, to the person that you are. You're trying to pretend that you're this and that and the other. And, sometimes you may feel embarrassed because you're single. There's nothing wrong with being single and independent. That's great. As a matter of fact, I think that's the way one should show up in a relationship. Independent and self-sufficient and so forth. And then you bring what you have into a relationship, whatever it is. But to go through life deceiving yourself, pretending, trying to show the world that you are okay and you don't need someone, well, guess what? I have come to realize not only do I enjoy the company of in my case, of my husband, I just love being with him and doing things with him, but I enjoy the company of my friends as well. I love to be able to go out to dinner, to have have a glass of wine, have a cup of coffee, to just spend time with friends, because we are meant for that. We are created for that. And what happens is this. See, your needs, when you deny the needs, the true needs that you have, you are really distorting the truth of your life. You're distorting it, and you will remain unfulfilled. Why? Because again, you're living a lie. You are living a lie, and you are telling yourself that that I'm happy the way I am, I am content, I am joyful, and so forth. And and you live with yourself. You realize that sometimes anxiety sets in and depression sets in, especially during the holidays and so forth. So it creates emotional distress when you suppress those feelings, the truth of you. The truth of you. I know for myself, when I started my journey of self-discovery, there are some things that I was not prepared to share, because I had to get used to being vulnerable, and and authentic, and to put things out there. Now, I'm a very private person. Now, I post a lot on Facebook, but on social media, but I post what I don't care for you to know. I mean, or that you know. I post, but my personal private life, that's mine. And I have learned to be a little more relaxed with that. But I am still, again, remain a private person. And I don't set, going back to like brand New Year's and so forth, I don't set like resolutions or make a public announcement, whatever. I just, the changes in my life, I just allow them to happen. I just allow them to happen. I don't make an announcement, starting this, I'm going to do this, and starting that. That's just not me. I mean, if it works for you, that's fine, but that's just not me. I like to see evidence, because when I see evidence in my life, I can share with you from a truth place, from a place of truth. I can be authentic, and I can be clear and genuine in things that I know. And as you know, I don't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you that you have what's within you to discover the magic, your own magic. Because when you discover your own magic, that's what's going to work for you, your own magic. So anyway, yeah, when you try to suppress those feelings, those emotions, and it doesn't mean you need to walk around telling everybody your business. No, as a matter of fact, you don't want to do that. You need to be selective. But at the same time, be honest and be genuine, and just be who you are. It's all a growth. It's all part of your personal development. So don't put everything out there. I mean, this is me. I don't put everything out there, but the things that I want to, I just do it. And in this show, I try to be as authentic as possible. When I share my stories, because they're real, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. And, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. We all have different lives, and things happen, and we just have to deal with it. But when you create a narrative in your mind, a narrative of a certain lifestyle, and saying, oh yes, I'm this and I'm that and whatever, you're gonna find yourself in living inauthentically, not being authentic in who you are. And so life won't meet you at a place of abundance, of a place of allowing you to prosper. Why? Because you're not real. And it happens in such a subliminal way because we think, well, like I don't have to do this or I don't have to do that, or and there's just a thing going on between the genders, like a gender fight, women saying they don't need men and men saying they don't, and then there's it's ugly, and that's not the truth. It is not the truth, because most people that I talk to, most single women or men that I know, they are hoping to meet someone with whom they can share their lives with. And that is such a beautiful thing. So we ought not to deceive ourselves, because what happens is we self-sabotage. It's like you sabotage your own fortune, your own opportunities. You sabotage it because you are presenting yourself a certain way that really isn't it. Imagine that you have that kind of an attitude and you go and you meet, you are in this crowd of ladies or women or whatever, and they see you and they're like, oh wow, that's an attractive person, and and they're single. I bet they will do well with with my brother, my uncle, my whatever. And but they're not interested because they already made it clear that they're fine the way they are. And then people just drop you. Why? Because you have already sent out that energy. You have sent out that message. You have sent out that information into the universe that you have no need of a hookup. That you have no need to meet someone or to widen your your network, that you have no need, that you're just fine the way you are. So people, nadie te hace caso. Nobody pays attention to you. Why? Because you are just fine. But when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you embrace opportunities of growth, self-development, personal growth. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable and know that there's nothing wrong with you being who you are, regardless. When that show was on, The Golden Bachelor, the woman that ended up with the Bachelor, they were so critical of her. They said that she was clingy. They called her clingy. She just cling, and she was just needy and all that sort of stuff. And it's really interesting because she may have appeared to be clingy, but that was her. She's authentic. Come to find out, Teresa is a successful businesswoman with a high net worth and confident, assertive. She's the one that wound up with the guy because she put herself out there. She became so vulnerable. And as a matter of fact, one of the contestants, it was so funny because, she went on the first date with the Bachelor. And when she came back, she was so happy. And I can relate to her because I'm very expressive. When I get happy, I'm going to share. And, people may not like me sharing that much, but that's fine. It works for me. And she came back and, she was sharing and so forth. And one of the contestants got a little, I would say jealous. And she told her, zip it. She pulled her aside and she said, we don't need to hear all this stuff about what happened on the date and so forth. And then I don't remember how it went verbatim, but Teresa asked, well, what am I supposed to do or something like that? And then the other woman said to her, zip it, like shut up, and that was just so funny. So on another date, then this Teresa shared it with the Bachelor and so forth. The point is, after all those dates that he's had with 22 women, he wound up with the person that was told to zip it. Why? Because she put herself out there. She made herself vulnerable. She didn't care what anybody said or thought about her. On social media, hopefully she didn't follow social media, because there were some awful, awful, awful things said about her, some really ugly things. And but she tread along, and she was just herself. And her story is that she was a widow, and she was alone for many, many, many years, because her high school sweetheart passed away and so forth. But she had a beautiful family. She has a son and a daughter, and she has like 6 grandkids, 6 grandsons. And but that was not enough. That is not enough for her. Teresa wanted a life of her own. She wanted to enjoy life. As a matter of fact, she said to the Golden Bachelor, Gary, she said, we are going to have fun, and we are going to travel. As a matter of fact, they were giving a trip to Italy and so forth. I was fascinated by it, because it's a reality show, and it's just a human element. And I take from that, and I learn from it. And I just like that whole posture, in the midst of all the criticism and the judgment and the accusation and the insults and all the things that people had to say about her. She stayed the course. She stayed the course, and she was her true, authentic self. Now, all the ladies are now friends with each other. It's just beautiful the way it ended, because they were all supportive. The couple, the Golden Bachelor and his bride, they got married on TV last week, I believe it was. and all the contestants, they all participated. They went and celebrated with her. And one of the ladies is a wedding officiant, and she officiated the wedding and so forth. So it was just a beautiful thing. But the whole thing, I'm sharing all that to say this: be your true, authentic self. But in order to do that, you have to be vulnerable. You have to make yourself vulnerable. Things that be real to yourself, and don't self-sabotage. Because when you do that, not only do you put a strain on relationships, because you're not true, you're not real. Like sometimes you think of some people and you say, well, gosh, man, life, it's been a long time that whatever, situations, it's been a long time since you have really had a great opportunity, or whatever it is, and you just wonder why. And now you think of it, and it's because they're telling themselves a narrative. And some people even say things like, I'm trusting God, and if God wants me to have a partner, He'll send it to me. No, it's not about God. It's about you. It is you. You're the one that makes the decision. You're the one that put the effort in there. You're the one that sends out the energy and the information. You're the one that take your life in steps, and you go do whatever you need to do to make things happen. Because if you look back, you'll realize, hey, look, it's been what? 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and you're still waiting. That's not the way it works. That is not the way it works. It is you. You take the initiative. You take control and responsibility over your life. And most people don't want to do that. Most people don't want to, they don't want to take responsibility, because they're saying, I don't want to get out of God's will and so forth. No, it is you. Your will is God's will. Whatever you will is what God desires for you. It is you. It is you. You make the decision. You make the decision. You take the first step. I notice in my own life, when I decide something, I just do it. I just do it. I just do it. I don't make an announcement. I don't, no. I just do it. I just do it. And as I make a decision to just move forward, to do whatever it is, it's like everything starts validating that decision that I have made. But I'm the one that made the decision. I make the decision. I make it. And as I go step by step by step by step, I am making those decisions, step by step by step by step. And as I continue to make those decisions, like everything comes into play, the resources, the right information, the right person, a phone call, something shows up in the mail, my bank account expands, a whole bunch of things just comes in and validate a decision that I make. It is you. Because if you've been waiting for years and year and year and year after year after year after year and nothing happened, then, you need to reset. You need to reset and get out of that self-sabotaging place to where you tell yourself a story and you make yourself believe it. And you live that way, saying it's okay. If you're not happy at work, then you need to be real. You can change something, try to get a new position, try to get a new job, try to, switch things around so that it can work differently for you. You have the ability to make those changes. If you're not happy where you are living in the town, why? Because it's the town that you grew up in. Everybody knows you. You can't really spread your wings and be who you want to be because everybody is watching you and you're subject to traditional values and just living the way others expect you to live and so forth. And then you need to move out. You'll be fine. Move out. Move. Go someplace else. Just move out. I'm telling you, you got to focus on 3 things this year. On yourself, on your life, and your happiness. Christmas 2023 just passed. How many more Christmases do you have left? How many birthdays do you have left? You need to start now. Now, my friend, now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not waiting until things get, no, now. If you want to, live a certain lifestyle that, would be okay for you, but you're so, and that happens a lot. People are, you live according to the expectations of others. And you know what? People are going to judge you based on their own standards. Based on their own standard. That's why it's like me, it's like, whoa, it's like, no. No, and I can tell you no in a New York minute. No, people judge you according to their standards, to their values, to their concepts, their perspective on life, what to expect, and just, another incident, talk about judgment. There was a what do you call it? Bachelorette party for the person, Teresa, and they brought in the Chippendales. And for those of you that know what that's about, there are these guys with their, abs that come and they dance and so forth and whatever. And in the chat that I'm in, this person indicated something about inappropriate. And it's interesting. I wish I had what I wrote. I said that event was for the modern day confident, assertive, open-minded woman, and it was simply fun. And I said, I wish them well and things of that nature. And a whole bunch of other women chimed in to my comment because this person's comment was inappropriate. Well, that's their judgment based on their own values. For me, it was great. I thought it was I thought it was wonderful. Not only did they have the Chippendale, but they had the lingerie photo shoot and things of that nature. Look, if you're uptight, then switch it. Always operate your options. Turn it off. If you don't like it, turn it off. But it doesn't mean that I should subject my life and I'm open-minded, and I am not. No. I don't care about that and being prude and no. This is 21st century. Whether it's the 21st century or the 20th century, it doesn't matter. Those are the things that I find funny, entertaining, and unapologetic. I am unapologetic about it. And you have to know where you stand. Now, if you don't like that, then that's fine. But don't try to dampen my sense of openness and fun because of your own values and tradition. That's you, and you're good to observe that. But don't try to impose that on me. And that's what happens with a lot of people. You're living a life based on you really want to break out. You really want to. I remember this person, and she's part of a family setting and so forth, and they don't drink. They don't drink. They don't have a glass of wine or anything, which is fine. And this person traveled overseas and whatever, and they stopped at this place, and they had a virgin drink, and they were drinking, and they posted the pictures and things like that, and then they said, and of course this drink doesn't have any alcohol. It's like, who the hell cares? Now, if you want to have a drink, which they call it mocktail, if you want to have a mocktail, then enjoy your mocktail. Why do you? But I know that this person was sending information to the family back here to make sure that they knew that she was not indulging in alcohol. I knew it, when I saw that, I thought, well, okay. And it was a mocktail, a margarita without the alcohol, but the whole drink looks like a alcoholic beverage. But this person felt the need to make sure that the family over here knew that they weren't drinking an alcoholic beverage. Why? Because she's afraid that they would judge her. She's all the way across the ocean traveling, with friends, and, they stopped and they had a drink. Now, my question is, did you really want to have a margarita? Did you really want to have that, but, you settled for a mocktail just because of traditional values? Are those values yours? Or are they values that are imposed upon you by family, friends, religion, whatever? Or did you really want to have a margarita? I mean, think of it. Did you really want to have a margarita? Think of it. Because if you did, and you had a mocktail, and then you had to announce that it was a mocktail and had no alcoholic beverage, then you are deceiving yourself. If you were curious, you're traveling across the ocean, and if you were curious, let me have a margarita, with my friend and whatever, and I'm not sure what the other people did. I just got it from, that information from that particular person. And the thing is, if you really wanted to have a margarita, then you deceived yourself. Why? Because you were influenced by the opinions, the criticism, the judgment of these folks back here, your friends, family, whomever, that they would judge you for having a drink. Now, if that's what you wanted to have a mocktail, then enjoy your mocktail. No need to make an announcement. Oh, of course, this has no alcoholic beverage. Why? There's no need to make an announcement. That's between you and you. If you don't like alcohol, then you don't drink alcohol. That's that simple. And some people just make it such a big of a deal. And, walking in self-deception. You're deceiving yourself. If you want to have a nice little margarita, and if you don't, then don't. But you don't need to make any kind of announcement. And that's what happens. We allow our lives to be sabotaged in a very subliminal way by the things we follow, because we are thinking, what are they going to say? What will they think of me? What opinion will they have of me by doing this or saying that? Everyone will always have an opinion of you. And, some people may choose not to spend time with you because, whatever, that's their choice. That's why I always share, you don't become attached to anyone. Situations, people, no, allow people to go. Every relationship has an expiration date, whether it's by default or by choice. And if someone say, you know what, you're not someone that I choose to spend time with anymore, then that's fine. There was a time that I studied stoicism and to be stoic, and I can tell you right now that it helped me, because what happens is that you lead your mind separate from your feelings, and you make decisions that are with your brain. You make decisions and not governed by your emotions and your feelings and things of that nature. Because when somebody does something that hurts your feeling, then you will be a mess. But like if somebody walks away and say nothing, to me, that is fine. That is fine. That's okay. That is perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. You can't force someone to be in any kind of relationship with you, whether it's social or, a friend, even family members. Some family members, I was talking to my friend not too long, a couple of days ago, and she's got some family situations and which are not very favorable, and I say to her that which I share with everyone. I said, family members are people. They're individuals, they're unique, and they're separate. They have their own mind, they have their own thoughts, they have their own feelings. They are individual. The fact that you are connected because of genetics or, not even a bloodline, because you don't share the same blood. Even if you come from the same mom and dad, you don't share this. You can't say that's my blood relative. No, that's a cliche. Blood relative. There's no such thing, because you don't have the same blood. But you know what I mean. When somebody says I'm my blood relative, yeah, that's my, my first cousin, my second cousin, whatever. But the point is this. There are people just like yourself. You may not, I said to her, she may not like you because of, you've had a better life. She may not, or you may not do well with her because she's always criticizing you. They are people. And the fact that you are, and this is, she's talking about her sister. And the fact that you are connected by the same mom and dad doesn't mean you have to be friends. It doesn't mean you have to be friends. And that's not a matter of good or bad, right or wrong, no. It's just they are people. And once you understand that, then you can allow people to be themselves. You can allow people to be themselves. And if they, I would prefer to have a good relationship with all of my family members, but that's not the truth. That's not the reality. And it's not that we are at odds. It's just that we are not, we may not be close. And that's okay. And then I have friends. I have some friends that we have a great close relationship, and they would send me stuff. They send me stuff all the time, And it's so wonderful because it's encouraging. Throughout the day, they send me just these little things, and that's just because they are expressive, and I do the same as well. But you can't, you can't live your life because of patterns and habits and behaviors of a family that you are. Now, if that works for you, then of course, yeah, because there's some families that are like chiclet. They're like so close, and that's an admirable thing. When I see a family like that, you it's like, but then again, there's always a situation that is compromising. That's why you have to know who you are and what you bring to the relationship, what you bring to the table, what you bring to the union. You have to know what you bring to your own life, because your focus is yourself, your life, and your happiness. And all of that depends on you. Being real, genuine, and authentic with yourself. This is a brand new year. And I talked earlier about what's in and what's out. And all the fakery, make that something you get rid of. All the pretending, get rid of that. Out. Being fake, pretending, out. Being scared, out. Fearing what people think or say, out. Comparing yourself with someone else, out. All those things, there are 5 things I just gave you, whatever, out. All those things need to be out. What's coming in is authenticity. Look at this. This is so funny. Every time I do this, it shows up. Anyway, authenticity. Being your true, authentic self. That's in. Creating a narrative that is the truth of you. That's in. Not making an announcement. Making public announcement that you're going to do this, you're going to do that. That's in. Just make the changes. If you want to lose weight, don't make an announcement. Oh, I'm going to the gym. Just go. Like if you want to post post pictures of you at the gym, then you can do that. But just go. Just go. And whatever your objective is, stay fit, lose weight, build muscles and all that. Whatever your objective is, just let it be. You don't have to make any kind of announcement. Let that be a you thing. Oh, I'm going to start eating well. Just do it. Just do it. Don't care what anybody else does. Just start eating well. Oh, I'm going to start traveling by myself. Book a flight. Book a flight. And even if it's to Las Vegas or New York City or Miami, whatever it is, whatever place excites you, and try to, if you're going to go it alone, and just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. All of that is in for 2024. Making decisions on your own. If you are subject to that kind of situation where, like having a glass of wine, going out with someone, and if that's new for you, then do it. If that's what you want to do, then just do it. And it doesn't matter who sees or who says what, and you just do it, and you will see the reaction of other people. The same people that you are afraid of, that would criticize and judge you and so forth, put it out there. And I bet you no one will say anything to you. And if they do, then you will be prepared to make yourself vulnerable and say, well, that's just something new in my life. I enjoy having a glass of wine, or, a margarita, a mojito, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I'm just saying that just because people have issues with that. But if you don't want that, and if you have a mocktail, let's say you have a mocktail, then don't give an explanation. Let people think what they think. They may think, well, yeah, now she's drinking. Well, yeah, you are drinking. Yeah. You have to just allow people to form their own opinion of you while you continue to live your life and enjoy your life, and so that the universe can really favor you with the good fortune that you deserve, the abundant life and the prosperity that you deserve. Really. No more lying to yourself. No more deceiving yourself. No more creating a narrative that's not really you. No more feeling embarrassed for who you are or for the thoughts that you have. Some of you are watching this show, and I know that you don't put a like or you don't follow. I encourage you to do so. Doesn't matter if somebody sees that you are following this, and I know that my thoughts are radical, but that's me authentically, and I want to share that with you because I know that there's an audience out there that needs to hear this. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. Don't be concerned about what if somebody sees that you put a like on this or that you are following this person because they have such radical thinking and it opposes what our traditional values are and things of that nature. No. If this show and what I share is something that has helped you or even have you really think in a different way or encourage you or create an awareness of who you are, and me letting you know, no, it's not what God's will, it's what you will, and your will, you'll see that it lines up with God's will. You have it twisted and you've been waiting for years and years and years and years and nothing is happening, and then you create this narrative to appease your emotions and your feelings and your whole thought process to make you feel okay, but it's not really what you want. You want something else. You want excitement. You want fun. You want to live, because the purpose of your life, my friend, the purpose of your life is pleasure. It's to enjoy your life. Otherwise, what are your options? You think it's to suffer? That's easy. That happens by default. All of us are, have the possibility of situations happening. None of us are immune to pain and suffering. But nobody talks about fun and pleasure and joy and contentment, and I don't mean just joy and contentment, because everybody says that's inner and you feel. No, I'm talking about going out and having fun. When my husband and I, we travel, we have fun. We have fun. We have fun unapologetically. And that's what I mean. Whatever it is for you, whatever it is, whatever your idea of fun is, go do that. Go do it. You work 40 hours a week, sometimes 60 hours a week. Just allow yourself time to do fun stuff and start taking initiative. With your friends and even family members, and bring people over and start really creating a network of relationships and people where you can, foster that mindset of enjoyment and fun. You invite them over, you have great conversations, not about stuff and people, but about life itself. And about the goodness of life and the things that you want to do, and just, when I sit with my friends and we talk about stuff, we're really unpacking a whole lot of things that are totally different. Yeah, we're talking about, stocks and trade and travel and buying a new this and buying a new that and just things, things, helping this person out, that's usually a personal private thing, because you don't need to put that out there. You just do the stuff that you need to do. At least that's what we do. When we're going to help somebody, we just do it. We don't, it's not a, PSA, no public service announcement to do whatever. You just do whatever you need to do to help people out. But we're talking about yourself. Yourself, your life, and your happiness. Those are the three things I encourage you to focus on this year. Yourself, your life, and your happiness. And you need to do whatever you need to do to change the narrative. Whatever narrative you have been telling yourself, get rid of it. Just like you get rid of the scammers and those fraudulent calls and texts and all that stuff that comes through on your phone. You need to get rid of this self-deception because it's nothing else but subliminal sabotage. You don't realize that, oh my gosh, I know this person that is two adults, living together, and they're just living together. Whatever you've seen in the background with this thing, I don't know where that is coming from, but anyway, that's just sparkles because I sparkle. And so this person is very she's got some apprehension. She doesn't want to share with someone that she's living with someone out of wedlock. Well, that's so 20th century. What do you mean out of wedlock? You don't have to get married. You don't have to get married. Unless you want to get married. But if somebody asks you, oh, are you and so-and-so married? Just say no. Say no, he's my partner. We've been together for 12, 16, 20 years. You don't have to get married. Who says you have to get married? You don't get married unless you want to get married. And if you don't agree with that, that is fine. That is fine. Whatever traditional values that you subscribe to, that's fine. But as far as I'm concerned, you don't have to get married. You do not have to get married. Now, you can put in all the legal and financial situations and what if this happened, whatever. You can figure all that out. But as far as morally, that's 20th century thinking. That's 20th century thinking. And there are a lot of people that subscribe to that. That's fine. But if you are not married and you're, living with that person, it doesn't matter. If somebody asks you, no, we're not married. We're just, we're in a committed relationship and have been in a committed relationship for over 20 years. And that's it. You don't have to be afraid. What will they think? They'll think about you, whatever they want to think anyway. So you don't have to justify or give an excuse or try to, explain or seek their approval, permission, validation. None of that. You just let it know. And when you start doing that, when you start saying things like that, oh yeah, I'm on a few dating apps, If somebody asks you, because some people frown on that. Oh yeah, no, I'm on a few dating apps. Oh yeah, I have a date with this person and blah, blah. And you just, as a matter of fact, and let people think whatever they want to think. You take care of your business. If you are in a dating app and, somebody asks you out on a date, then of course you use your wisdom and you determine what you need to do, meeting in a public place and, perhaps for lunch or Starbucks or whatever. You do all that stuff. Many relationships have come out of dating apps. So it's not a bad thing, and some have been a disaster. Now, it all depends on what you're thinking and how you go into that relationship with a dating app. Just do you. Just do you, and don't deceive yourself. Neither should you allow subliminal self-sabotage. Because if you're not honest with yourself, the universe will not bestow the fortunes of abundance and prosperity that you deserve. Why? Because you're living a lie. And people, even your relationships, are responding to that lie. Oh no, she's fine. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't, she doesn't want to meet anyone. She's fine the way she is, and which is a lie. So with that, I'm going to leave you with this. Create a list of what's in and what's out. Whatever it is, fear, lack of confidence, worry about what people think of you, worry about not having enough money, worry about not pleasing people, your family, or living up to people's expectations. All of that out. Fuera, that means out. All of that out. And you bring in a new whole mindset of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And again, you don't have to make it a PSA. Let it just be it. Just be it. My happiness, I don't say, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. No. When I hadn't talked to Jen for a long time, and we caught up the other day, and we engaged in these long conversations, like 3 hours. So my husband would say, "Are you guys repeating the same thing? How could you stay on the phone for 3 hours?" Well, anyway, we have a lot to share. And she says, "Oh my gosh," she says, "I watch your show and you just look so happy." Excuse me. And it's not something that that you're mindful of. Like, how do you look happy? I mean, I'm happy. And that's it. I'm not trying to convince you or anyone else that I'm happy. I know that I'm happy. And if something that, makes me unhappy or whatever, which is not, my mind just doesn't go in that direction. I'm happy. I'm happy with the people that I'm involved with. I'm happy with my friends, my family, and, even those that, whatever. I'm just more than happy. So, when she said that, I thought, wow, that's interesting that she saw that. That was her perception. She said, "You look so happy." Well, yeah, because I am. Because I am. And that's what I wish for you. So make a list. What's out and what's in. And what's in are things that you determine to live and to do. Again, if it's things like, you want to lose weight or whatever, then just do it. Then just do it. You will discover what works for you. You'll discover what works for you, and then you work it. And when you work it, you'll see the results. You'll be encouraged, and if somebody asks you, then you share it. But do it for you. It's yourself, your life, and your happiness. And with that, I'm going to say ta-ta, and until next week. In the meantime, shoot me a note. Some of you send me information, and it's just great because it just gives me a feel of what's happening out there, people's thoughts and things of that nature. So go to my webpage, thecynthialinuxshow.com. Scroll to the bottom, and you can, there's a box. You can shoot me an email and share whatever you want with me, and we'll just unpack it either on the show, or I'll get back with you, or anything of that nature. And if you can't meet our date, every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here on this stream, you can always catch us 24/7 on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and then of course Instagram and so forth. But anyway, you see the little icons in the bottom there. You can be guided by that and follow with the show. I'm also a life coach, a transformational life coach. I My whole thing about coaching is to see results and evidence. That's what, some people call it manifestation and attraction and things of that nature. Whatever it is that you call it, is to see results, because that's the bottom line. You can share a whole bunch of stuff and you can talk about a whole bunch of things, but until people see the results in your own life, people need to see, and you as well. You need results, and many times, you need someone to walk alongside with you, encouraging you, and really giving you the support that you need, so that you can, you can move forward with your plans, and not, if you get distracted, someone to help you get right back on track and keep going, knowing that you will, that you can, and that you will. That you can and that you will. And then you get into the zone of knowing, not just believing, but knowing the truth about yourself. And that is the truth that sets you free. And with that, my friends, I'm going to say ta-ta for this session. And we will meet again next week, same time. That's my slippers that just fell off. It's so funny that this is... Anyway, same time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on this stream. And again, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We'll see you then. Ciao. Hasta luego. Hasta la próxima.